Hi, Connor's editor here. This review is very likely not what you're going to be used to. It's going to be more relaxed. This channel is just Connor being just a guy, playing games, and doing other things he likes. This review is just going to be him expressing his experience with these games and all such things like that. This relaxed stuff is going to be exclusive to these reviews, so don't expect all the other videos to be along the same line of relaxation. That's definitely not going to be the case with me being his editor. Hopefully, you can relax and enjoy the rest of this video.
So, hey guys, 00 here, and welcome to my 007 First Light review. I've just completed the game, and I'm super excited to be doing this review. This game is genuinely one of the best games I've played. Maybe in general, I was going to say this year, but in general, to be honest. I've sort of written out what I want to say in front of me, so if you see me glancing down, that's why. I'm not very good at getting my words out, and there's a lot that I want to say about this game, so I've written down my genuine thoughts on the game. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this review, and let's just jump straight into it, shall we? So, having now completed the main story of 007 First Light and spending some time with the tax sim mode, I'm very happy to say that this game not only lived up to my expectations, but in many ways surpassed them. Okay, 007 First Light is an outstanding game in my opinion, and I have to say that IO Interactive were the perfect studio to bring Bond back to gaming. By blending the core DNA of Hitman with the cinematic spectacle of Uncharted and a combat system that feels reminiscent of the Arkham series, IOI have crafted what may be the most authentic Bond experience ever put into a video game. From beginning to end, it is clear that the team had a genuine passion for both the project and the character. The story is exceptionally well paced, with every mission feeling like an important step on Bond's journey towards earning the famous number.
Audio, James. Still on.
More importantly, I genuinely loved every single moment of this story. Like, genuinely. It just got better and better the more I played. It constantly surprised me with its twists and turns. It kept me on my toes from beginning to end.
Why does he have so many pairs of trainers? Jesus Christ.
And every time I felt like I knew where things were heading, the narrative would throw another curveball that kept me fully invested in both the characters and the wider mystery unfolding around them. The game constantly places you in situations where you must think, adapt and improvise, making you feel less like you're playing as Bond and more like you actually are Bond. Every mission, conversation and set piece feels earned, and by the time the credits rolled, I felt as though I had truly experienced Bond's journey from a talented young operative to the legendary 007. The mission design is masterfully crafted, offering multiple routes, approaches and solutions to objectives. This creates excellent replay value. Whether you prefer stealth, social manipulation, tactical planning, or all-out action, the game gives you the freedom to tackle situations your own way. The hand-to-hand combat feels weighty and impactful, and you can almost feel every punch, grab, and takedown. The parry system is responsive and satisfying, and after completing the game on purest difficulty, the hardest difficulty, I can confidently say that the challenge is rewarding without ever feeling unfair. Now, it did take me a small while to get used to the actual hand-to-hand combat system.
I'm trying to grab it.
But having now finished the game and played it a lot more, I can say it is genuinely amazing. I mean, what impressed me most about this game is the freedom that it gives the player. There was numerous occasions where I found myself talking my way out of dangerous situations through the brilliantly written bluffing system, where Bond will come up with a witty line to make enemies think that he belongs in that area. And other encounters encouraged me to use the environment creatively to gain the upper hand. These moments perfectly capture the resourcefulness that defines James Bond. The gunplay is equally impressive. Focus mode allows for precise and satisfying headshots, while every weapon feels powerful and impactful. I often found myself excelling in firefights more than fistfights, largely because the melee system demands precise timing and a mastery of its combo mechanics, especially on the higher difficulties. However, as I became more familiar with these controls, the combat truly opened up, and successfully dismantling an entire group of enemies without taking a hit is one of the most satisfying experiences in the game. I also really want to give a massive shout out to the Flight, who composed the awesome soundtrack in this game. It is nothing short of superb. Throughout the game there was familiar Bond motifs gradually beginning to emerge, and hearing elements of the James Bond theme and On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is one of my favourite Bond themes, subtly weave their way into key moments was a really incredible experience and just made me so happy. There was just a massive smile on my face. Sort of as Bond grows into the role of 007, the music evolves with him. And there were multiple occasions where hearing those iconic themes begin to surface made me smile and made me so happy. I think that it perfectly captured that feeling of becoming Bond and elevated several already fantastic moments into something truly special. The opening mission is also one of the greatest I have ever experienced in a video game. From the visuals to the music, it feels like a classic Bond title sequence, brought to life in an interactive medium. The original Bond theme, written and performed by Lana Del Rey and composed by David Arnold, is absolutely phenomenal. The song's called First Light, and you can get it on Spotify and YouTube at the moment. If you haven't heard it, it's been cut from my VOD as it is copyrighted, but go check it out, it is really awesome. I think that the song really sort of captures the elegance and mystery and emotion that define the franchise while standing proudly, alongside some of the very best Bond songs. Combine that with a stunning title sequence and an awesome opening mission, it just created a moment that immediately told me I was in for something special. Another aspect of the game that impressed me was the sheer amount of love and respect shown towards the wider Bond franchise. Long-time fans of Bond will constantly spot references to both the films and Ian Fleming's novels. Some are subtle, while others are sure to put a smile on the face of you dedicated Bond enthusiasts. Without spoiling anything, there's moments such as Greenway telling Bond to stop touching his ear, which immediately reminded me of that scene in Casino Royale. Whilst there were several musical references as well to previous Bond films, they're sort of woven naturally into the experience. I heard familiar melodies during a gala event and discovered them in other places throughout the game as well, such as playing a piano. These moments never really felt forced to me and sort of served as a celebration of Bond's rich history, is how I feel. I was also delighted to see elements from Fleming's original novels make their way into the story. This includes the appearance of Miss Ponsonby and Bond's famous cheek scar. These details might seem minor, but they demonstrate just how much care and attention IO Interactive devoted to creating a Bond experience that honours every era of the character. Beyond just the campaign, First Light offers a wealth of replayability through mission challenges and TAC-SIM scenarios. Some challenges require stealthy, undetected completions, whilst others encourage a more aggressive approach. These objectives provide compelling reasons to revisit missions and experiment with different play styles, and I would highly recommend diving into TAC-SIM as soon as possible. It teaches you valuable combat techniques and advanced mechanics that are extremely useful throughout the campaign, and it will not teach you if you do not go to the TAC-SIM at your earliest convenience. So keep that in mind. I also think that the cast deserves enormous praise, especially Patrick Gibson, who delivers a phenomenal performance as James Bond. I would like to personally thank him because he was amazing. Not only did he simply portray Bond, but he truly became Bond. He captures the charm, the wit, the confidence and charisma that have defined this character for decades, whilst also bringing something fresh to the role. Whether delivering a sharp one-liner, bluffing his way through a tense encounter, or charming everyone around him, Gibson consistently feels authentic, and by the end of the game, I wasn't seeing Patrick Gibson anymore. I was simply watching James Bond. Lenny James is equally excellent as Greenway. He delivered a powerful and memorable performance that makes the character one of the highlights of the story. Lenny Kravitz also deserves recognition for his performance as Bavma. He brought both presence and personality to his role, and also the actors behind MQ and Moneypenny also shine. They help establish a cast that feels worthy of standing alongside the best entries in the Bond franchise, and in truth, every performance in the game is impressive and contributes to the world that IOI have created. Some things that I also notice is that the game features a handful of fun cameo appearances. While they definitely aren't necessary to the story, it was nice to spot familiar faces such as Jacksepticeye and Cubby Lame during my playthrough. These appearances never really felt distracting to me and just sort of served as enjoyable surprises for players who recognised them. I would also like to massively thank IO Interactive for delivering what I consider to be a masterpiece of a game. After such a long wait for a new Bond game, they have absolutely delivered. In fact, 007 First Light may genuinely have earned a place among my top 5 favourite games of all time. Now just stepping into some performance stuff and stuff like that. From a technical standpoint, my experience was very positive. I played on a base PS5 in performance mode, and the game maintained a smooth frame rate throughout most of my playthrough. I did notice the occasional frame drops, and lag during like large chain explosions, and I did also experience 2 game crashes that stopped my streams and I had to then restart. They were mildly irritating, but nothing massive, you know. There was also a very amusing physics bug where I threw an enemy off a platform and they launched across the room.
What the hell
But
happened to his body?
given that I was playing at launch, none of
Jesus
these
Christ.
issues significantly impacted my enjoyment of the game, and I'm confident that they'll be addressed in future updates. So, I have also seen that there is additional tax sim content already on the horizon, which I'm super excited for, and I'll absolutely be returning for the new missions. If only for another opportunity to step back into this brilliantly crafted world, so make sure to come join my streams for these extra tax sim missions when they come out. My only real criticism of the game is that I wanted more. The main campaign took me roughly 17 hours to complete, and while I appreciate that the game never overstays its welcome, I found myself wishing it was just a little bit longer, particularly given its premium price point. Being sold at £70 is a lot for a game that is only 17 hours long in my experience. But that being said, that is possibly the highest compliment I can give it also. When the credits rolled, I wasn't ready for it to end. And, I mean, what more can I say? I wanted more. So, all in all, not a bad thing, but I also do wish it was slightly longer. If the reports are true, then this is the beginning of a new Bond trilogy, right? And if that is true, then the future of this franchise is incredibly bright. I mean, I cannot wait to see where IO Interactive takes 007 next. That being said, my final score for this game is a 10 out of 10. Whilst it suffers from a few minor bugs and a campaign that I wish had been longer, these issues do little to detract from what is ultimately a thrilling, stylish and authentic Bond adventure that successfully captures everything that makes 007 special. With outstanding performances, fantastic gameplay, superb music, incredible mission design, countless references to Bond's rich history, and a story full of twists, surprises, and memorable moments, 007 First Light sets a new standard for James Bond games in my opinion. IO Interactive have delivered something truly special, a game that not only honours Bond's legacy but confidently charts a course for its future. After such a long wait for a new Bond game, they have exceeded every expectation that I had. I cannot wait for the next mission. That is my review. So, thank you ever so much for watching this review. I hope you found it helpful, and if you're a big fan of 007, go play the game right now. I'm promising you, you will love it. Yeah, that's all from me. I hope that you are all having a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and I'll see all you guys in the next stream. Bye bye.